Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Gino Forte. I'm a real estate agent here in Dubai. I'm originally from Ireland and I specialize in the off-plan market. Right now, we are on the edge of Sheikh Zayed Road, the most famous road in all of Dubai. Over here, you can see downtown, you can see the Burj Khalifa Sky Views Tower. On our other side, you can see the DIFC skyline. And right here is what we're going to talk about today, this big white wall and plot behind it. If you follow me around, what's being built here is a very, very special tower. It's called Sol Lux. Now, you guys have heard me talk about Sol a lot. I've sold the most units by any individual agent in Sol, Levante and JVT, and they're building a luxury tower here. Luxury is what they're mainly known for, by the way. Now, you can imagine what the views are going to be like before we even get into it. Burj Khalifa views, Sky View Towers, DIFC, and what they're building here is very special. They're building a mixed-use tower, which is going to be residential and commercial. What we're mainly going to talk about today is their commercial towers. So their commercial is going to be on a 50-50 payment plan, and they're going to be selling individual offices, half floors and full floors. The starting price for this is going to be 4,800 per square foot, and it's going to be an A++ rated tower. What does that mean? Let me tell you a little bit about A++. So if you look directly over here in the distance, I'm not going to be able to point out in the video, you're going to see a tower called Boulevard Central. Boulevard Central transacts at 6,000 dirhams per square foot for A++, and it has a 95% occupancy rate for tenants, proving with rental returns of over 12 to 15% per year. Now, that's something you didn't know about the commercial market. The rental returns are phenomenal. So if you can buy in this tower, which will be brand new A++ by a premium developer with views of the Burj Khalifa, the sea, which you won't be able to see the other direction, you have the ocean and Jumeirah, or DIFC tower, at 4,800 starting a foot, there is some serious money to be made here, especially if you're in the market for full floor offices. A lot of people just talk about the residential market here in Dubai and they forget about the very, very lucrative commercial market. Let's talk about some comparables. So if you look straight over here, you will see the old clock tower. This was meant to be a hotel. This was recently bought by AHS, which are a premium developer, which are slightly related to DMAC, and they're selling their units very cheap at around 4 to 4,500 dirhams a foot on a 60-40 payment plan. But the difference is the handover is in 18 months because the building was built a long time ago. They're just fixing the facade, whereas the Sol Lux building is going to be brand new building. It's going to have 3 levels of parking, and a full office is going to come with 12 parking spaces. Another thing right here, that is the DIFC metro line, which will be connected by this bridge. So this is, we're talking a 30-second walk max to the bridge, AC'd all the way to the DIFC metro line. So that's another huge point. On top of that, we're not in DIFC, we're on Sheikh Zayed Road, which means we don't have to pay any of the expensive fees that you have to pay to have an office in Dubai International Financial Center. Let's talk a little bit about why Sheikh Zayed Road is such a popular location at the moment. The reason for that is it has very recently, at the start of this year, been made freehold. It was always leasehold, which means that the government owned the land that your building was on and you just rented the land from them on like a 100-year lease. The government have very kindly made it freehold, and then all the major developers were on it like flies on. They jumped on it very quickly. Shoba, AHS, Sol, you name it, they all bought plots here, they bought buildings here, and they're starting to renovate and build here, providing lots of commercial space due to the area that we're in, and also residential. Why should you buy commercial, or how do you know if you're in the market for commercial? Commercial probably isn't going to be your first purchase in Dubai. Likelihood it's not going to be your first purchase. It's probably going to be your second, third, or fourth. But if you like high rental returns, you like income that's almost guaranteed because people need places to work, and you want somewhere that's going to have high occupancy rates, commercial is the safest bet, but you need a lot of money to get into it. It's not a cheap start. We're talking up over the tens of millions entry point, but if you have that kind of money in dirham on a 50-50 payment plan, the opportunities are immense. Let's have a look at the plot. Follow me. As I have a very, very good relationship with the developer, I hope they don't mind. An exclusive view of the plot. I hope this is allowed. Here's where the plot's going to be built. We're here on the plot of Sol Lux. It's going to be office space from the ground floor up, and then there's going to be residential. So residential starting price for a 1-bed is around 2 million dirhams on a 50-50 payment plan. You can get a 3-bed corner unit facing the Burj Khalifa for 6.8 million dirhams. That is a really, really good deal. on Sheikh Zayed Road and possibly connected to the building you're even working in. There's going to be different entrances, different car parks and different amenities for the commercial and residential. So you won't be crossing as you're going to the pool, you won't be passing someone in a suit going to work. This is really, really important. Different elevators. There's going to be no queuing for elevators for residential because of the commercial or vice versa. It's going to be completely separate, and the residential starts at a much higher floor than the commercial does. It's really, really important to take note of that and to also think about what this developer has done in the past. This developer has built the JVC Circle Mall, Hillside Villas in Jumeirah Golf Estate, which now transacted over 60 million dirhams each. They built the Bloomingdale townhouses in Victory Heights. They built Ocean House on the Palm. They're going building. They own a huge plot on the Palm as well, where something very special is getting launched at the end of the year. They're building the Fairmont Residences downtown, and of course Sol Levante in JVT. I'm a bit aware that these guys are trying to do some work, so we're going to get off the plot again and we're going to talk a little bit more about the location and the possibilities that you can do here as an investor. So the first floor to the 25th floor are all commercial space. Then the 26th and the 27th are full floor amenities just for commercial. Then from the 28th to the 43rd floor, you've got 1 beds, 2 beds and 3 beds. 44th floor and 45th floor amenities. 46th floor to the 61st floor, 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, and then the 62nd floor is rooftop amenities. Now the thing to think about if you're thinking about either commercial or residential is the views, because you're going to have great views either way. You're either going to have DIFC views, you're going to have downtown views, or you're going to have Jumeirah views or City Walk views. So either way, you're having a good view once you're on a high enough floor. The trick is really to just be on a higher floor than this, right? Now if you think about it, the commercial is up 25 floors and this building is probably, I would guess, around maybe 30 floors or so. I think is a fair guess. Now facing the way, you're still going to have your DIFC in your downtown, but you will be facing that building. But once you're in residential, you're pretty much going to be ahead of that floor no matter what, which is obviously where the most important views are. So I think this is probably going to sell out before the end of the year. The official launch is this week, and the 50-50 payment plan I don't think is going to stay forever. So if this sounds interesting to you at all, if you're looking for either residential or commercial in a space where people haven't been able to buy ever in Dubai without leasehold, this is going to be the building. There's a lot of other options at much higher prices. Shoba have launched at a much higher price per square foot. AHS at a lower price but only commercial, and it's already an old building that they're just going to revamp and make new. It's going to look amazing, but it's going to be a brand new building by a premium developer on a 50-50 payment plan, commercial starting at 4,800 a foot. I think it's an absolute steal. If you're in the market to buy off plan, ready, you know the drill. Anything you need in Dubai, I'm your guy. Leave a comment down below. I'm going to do a tour in my next video of a new location. Check out my last 2 videos. I've done a video on all the deals I've done so far this year, and I've done a walking tour of Jumeirah Village Triangle. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and most importantly, if you want to buy a property, make sure you inquire with me down below, and we'll see you in the next video.